Hello and welcome to Dr. Caro. In this video I'm continuing my knitting journey. I was so happy with how this Lord of the Rings sweater came out, so I immediately wanted to make another sweater. So I thought about which theme I wanted to go for, and something really obvious came to mind. Ta-da! Avatar: The Last Airbender. As you might know, my cats are named Sokka and Zuko from this show. And I have a lot of stuff to use for inspiration. I have most of the art of books for Avatar: The Last Airbender and Avatar: The Legend of Korra. And I have some comics, and I have some Legends book and stuff like that. I have them on a shelf up there, so I'm just checking what I have. And I use that to inspire me for the design that I'm going to show you later. I've already made like the body portion of this sweater, so I'm going to divide this video up in two parts, and that's because I discovered during the making of this that the Netflix series are coming out the coming week now from when I'm releasing this video, and I didn't know that when I started knitting this, because I had sort of discounted it, because when the creators left the show I felt like they weren't going to make anything worthwhile watching. But then I saw the trailer and I got really hopeful, and then I also saw some, I don't know, hot takes from Netflix concerning changing the personalities of characters and stuff like that, so they won't do any like emotional growth or anything. So that made me a bit more apprehensive again. But I'm gonna watch it and give it a chance. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Hopefully it will be good. But I'm a bit worried. But I'm gonna release this now, so it's sort of close to the premiere date for the next week's shows, because that seems like good marketing, and I am never on trend, so exciting. So I'm not going to babble on too long. I just want to say this is part 1. Part 2 is coming as soon as I'm done with the rest of the sweater, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I finally decided on the design for my Avatar: The Last Airbender sweater. And I've decided to go with the same pattern that I did for the Lord of the Ring sweater. So that made it a bit easier for me. The only thing that I'm not super happy with is these two patterns being next to each other, because of the colors are so similar. But that can't be helped, because the stitch increase here is making this the only pattern I can put here, and also this is the only pattern I can put here and make it work as I want it to work. So it's going to be fine. It's not like ideal, but it's not super bad either. So I just wanted to talk about the design elements. This is meant to be Kyoshi's fan weapon, or like the fan weapons that the Kyoshi warriors use. I have recently finished reading the books about Kyoshi, so she was very much on my mind. Well, not just, but like a couple of months ago I finished reading it. It was really good books. These are meant to be cabbages for the cabbage man, because I love that running joke, and he shows up everywhere. I enjoy that, so that gets in here. And I also feel like that is one of the biggest running jokes in the series that gets a spot on the sweater. This is Appa. It looks a bit weird here, because on the front I want the design of Appa to be centered, so it's gonna look like this when it's together. But this is how it looks like since I'm starting from the middle of the back, and it repeats an even amount of times, which means that to get it sort of centered on the front you have to start in the middle. And the next one is the moon faces for the water tribe and for you and Sokka's relationship with the moon and stuff like that. And then I also wanted to get in the eclipse and Sosin's comet for the Fire Nation. Then after that I wanted to have Aang's glider, and then there is just this symbol that's in the Earth Nation a lot, and I kind of like how it looks, so I'm gonna include that. And I also wanted to reuse the color that I use for the fan, so it ties in real nice. And the dragons is both for the dragons that Aang and Zuko meet in the Some Warriors episode, and also for both the dragon that Avatar Roku has and that Aang rides upon when he's on his spirit journey with him, and the dragon that Zuko has in The Legend of Korra. And this is meant to be the meteor sword that Sokka has, and it's going to look like this when it's more centered. So this is for Sokka. I kind of wanted to do his boomerang, but I couldn't make it look nice in the pattern, so it is the meteor sword, and also because I really love that episode. Then I have some teapots and mugs and some flowers, just because to make it more. I needed to fill up some space, and flowers, and you know, the whole thing where Uncle Iroh drinks the tea of this plant that is either poisonous or it's the most delicious tea ever, and it turns out to be poison. Yeah, I had that in mind for this. This is very Uncle Iroh themed. Then we have Momo, and then some arrows on yellow and orange for Aang, and then one more Earth Nation symbol, or like this. They have this disc that they pop out of the ground, like this design, and they pop them out of the ground and like fling it at people when they battle and stuff like that when they're in the Earth Nation. So that's my thought of that. And then on the bottom of the sweater and the cuffs and the neckline, I'm going to use a very dark red. Okay, so I have obviously cast on and knit the ribbing for the neckline. And like I did with the Lord of the Rings sweater, I have, instead of knitting 6 centimeters that you're meant to knit, I knitted 4 centimeters just to give me a larger neckline, so it's not so tight around my neck. And now I'm meant to switch to the 4.5, that's 40 centimeter long, but I'm actually going to straight up to the 80 centimeter long needles. And then I'm gonna knit a elevation in the back of the neck that I hope will make the fit a bit better, and also that will make it easier to distinguish between the front and the back. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that now and then update you before I go on with the first pattern. Okay, so I got my yarn. Super exciting, and I just started knitting and I haven't updated since that because I kind of wanted to get a bit on my way before I updated this time. I'm just gonna put these cute stopper thingies my mom got for me on the tips of my knitting needle so they don't fall off. This is what I've done. This is how the rise in the back looks now. This is the middle back. So I've done the fans and the cabbages. You can't see them as well yet, but this is the beginning. And I'm gonna switch to a light blue. I'm still kind of on the fence if I'm gonna use this light blue or this really light blue. This light blue I haven't used before. This one is the light blue I used on my Lord of the Rings sweaters. It looks a bit brighter in the camera than this one does. This one looks more accurate on camera. my concern is if I use this really light one. Oh yeah, that's not really a concern. This white one stands out great against this. I'm gonna go with this one. I want a really light one, I think. Yeah, that's gonna look really bright against the other colors, but that's fine. There's going to be other light colors later on. So this one is going to go away. And that also will up the contrast, because the next row here, this is what I'm going to work on now, and this is the next row. So that will mean the contrast between those two will be a lot larger than if I were to use this one. So I'm going to be happier with this. This will look more like a Avatar Last Airbender sky color. Okay, so what I've tried to capture on video here is that I'm working with 4 different colors right now: black, white, blue and brown. So I've already knitted a row, the row with the black and the white, and when I did that I just lifted the ones that were meant to be knitted with the blue and the brown, and just knitted the ones that were meant for white and black. And now I'm going over the same row again, but this time I'm knitting the brown and the blue. So what I'm doing is I'm knitting the ones that are meant to go on this time, and the ones that already got I already knit are just lifted over, and then I go for the brown, and then I just need to sort of contain the floater and ta-da! And sorry, that's a bit annoying. And then I'm just lifting these over and knit the blue. And why there are 2 blue here and 1 blue here is I also wanted to explain that. This time I'm going to increase with 24 stitches, and these my pattern has 28 repeats, so I divided it into 28s with my markers and also in 4. So every 7th marker is a red one, so, and there are 4 of them. So instead of increasing here, I just go ahead as the previous row, and that means that I get 24. So I'm gonna keep going with this, and then I'll update you later. Knitting update. I have knitted down to the moon face portion and started on the next. I can't show you very well. Yeah, as far as how I've gotten, I started on the next color. And I just wanted to update you on some changes I made. I ordered what I thought might be orange yarn. It turned out not to be when it arrived. It was another shade of brown, which means I can't do Ang's glider. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna skip this and make this, and then before I get to these, because I don't want to put them so close together, I'm going to do, yeah, I'm gonna do Momo from here, I think. So that will work out, and then later on I might add in another one of the designs I had previously. So I'm just going to continue. Okay, so I'm now at the point of my knitting where I meant to split it up for the sleeves. It's looking really good. I'm loving how the pattern is coming out. So I'm going to change the camera angle and talk you through what I'm doing, because I don't think on the Lord of the Rings sweater that I actually told you what I was doing. So I'm gonna show you. This is how I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna knit 48 stitches. So what I'm doing is I'm counting in tens, and then for the last one I'm gonna count out to 8. This one I'm gonna count out aloud in Swedish if you're interested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's 10. Now I'm just going to do 8. So that's 48. And then I'm going to put the next 66 stitches on a piece of yarn. So I'm just going to first put my little stoppers on my needles, and then I'm gonna use this little piece of yarn I have left from my Lord of the Rings sweater. Just going to put a piece of that, and then I'm gonna use some of these needles my mom got me. Okay, and again I'm counting in tens because that's easiest for me. Okay, so now I've transferred those stitches to my piece of yarn, and now I'm gonna add some new stitches. It's gonna add 6 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to continue to knit here. Now I'm gonna put the rest of the sleeve stitches on a string. Count again, and again 66. So I'm just pulling out my knitting needle, leaving my stitches on the yarn. This always feels unsettling, I think. Like so. And I didn't lose anyone, so that's great. And then we are going to add 6 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then keep on knitting for 48 more stitches, and then I'm back at the beginning and I can just knit around, and I'm gonna show you how I knit when I come to this point later on, but I'm gonna update you then. update on my sweater. I've gotten quite a bit done. I've been really bad at updating, but I didn't want this video to be as long as my Lord of the Rings video. So I have done... no, this will be easier to talk about if I lay the sweater down and show you from above. So, okay, so I can't fit the entire sweater in the frame now without having to lift up the camera even more, and that's just a hassle. And I don't have the energy for that right now. So I've done the moon phases and the sleep openings. Then I did these Earth Nation symbols and the dragons, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. I was a bit worried after I've done the first one, because I didn't feel like it looked as I wanted it to, but when I got further down it resolved itself as it usually does. Now I've started on Momo here, and for the part of the eyes with the pupil I had to do I had to work with 4 different colors of yarn, and that was a bit tricky, just as it was when I did the appa here, but I managed. So now I'm working with 3 colors again. So yeah, I decided to switch it up a little bit from my original plan. So this stayed the same. I had to remove this, and then I made down to here, and then I decided I wanted some light blue again to sort of space the colors out a bit better. So I'm doing Momo, and then I am doing the sword, I think, and then the T, and then the arrows, and then another earth symbol part. I added this pattern, to the end to make it a bit longer because it was a bit too short before. Okay, so I'm trying to compare the Lord of the Rings sweater, which is this one, with the Avatar: The Last Airbender sweater, and see if the length is correct. And I'm having a bit of difficulty because this has been blocked and worn a bit, so you can see it's sort of matted together a bit, or I don't know what to call it. It's a bit more solid, and this is a lot more loose. And I am not sure if I can compare the length properly, but I think so, maybe. And if that's the case, I am done now with my different pattern. So I'm just gonna go for it, I think. So now when I'm done with my different designs, hopefully this won't be like the last time, where I do the rib knitting and then I do the sleeves, and I find out that I needed to make another design because the sleeves were too short. Hopefully this will be correct the first time, but I kind of want to split this video up into 2 parts, so I want the body completely done before I try it on for the reveal for the first part of the video. So switch to the small knitting needles, switch to my red yarn, and then I'm going to do a, let's see, an increase, and then after that I'm going to switch to rib knitting, so knit 2 and purl 2, I think. Yeah, knit 2 and purl 2 all the way around, and then I can finish it off. So I'm going to show you how that goes, I think. Yeah, let's go. time to cast off for the body portion, finally. And this is how much of a rib knit I've got. I'm gonna film casting off, and then that's going to be it for the first video. So let's do that. So I'm a bit concerned by how big it feels, but I know it's going to be a bit tighter after it's been blocked. That's what happened with the other shirt anyway. But I want it to be a bit bigger, especially in the arms, so should see about that. I'm also a bit concerned about this. But worst case, I do some like crocheting, or maybe I do some crocheting maybe around the neckline, just to keep it in place, so it's not as stretchy. But I think it's going to be fine when it's all together. It's going to be a bit more of a looser sweater than the other one, which was what I was going for anyway, so that's fine. Just now, it's just that right now it feels a bit weird since it doesn't have the sleeves. So, and that's it for part 1 of this video. I don't really know when the next one is coming out. I don't want to make any promises, but I hope it will be out next Sunday or sooner, maybe. We shall see. No promises, as I said. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more of my videos in the future, you may want to subscribe and hit notification bell, especially if you don't want to miss part 2 of this project. I would also love it if you left a comment and told me what you are thinking about this new Netflix series, if you like it, if you don't like it. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I have seen some stuff that seems promising and some stuff that seems really not promising. So it's going to be interesting when it actually comes out and I can judge for myself. Yeah, so please leave some comments on that, and leave a comment of your favorite character. That would also be great. May the stars shine upon your faces and have a glorious day. Thank you and goodbye for now.